Okay, from this angle, one of the things I want you to notice is that in order to have a good pivoting action and for your arms to respond, there are counter actions in the pivot. For example, some people, as they turn back, their hips will feel like they swivel a little bit towards the target. The rear end goes to the target. That's what we call a counter swivel. You know, in the pendulum technique, as the weight goes to the back foot, there's a feeling that the upper body keeps its position forward, so there's almost a sense of this leaning in the forward direction. As the weight shifts back, the sternum stays in position. So right here, there's sort of this counter lean that we have going on right here that allows the pivot to work. As we go forward and they go through, in the pendulum technique, there's still this counter lean leaning back as the forward motion happens. If you look at systems like gravity golf, they have what they call counter fall. So as the arms go, you know, around the body actually has to counter fall into positions to support the weight of the arms. It's trying to go out and around and away, you know, from the body. So, you know, what we want to do is understand that as you do these drills, your body's going to naturally find its counter actions. Some people will be counter swivelers, some people are going to have that counter lean, some people are going to have that counter fall action. You know, there are a variety of different counter actions that happen in the pivot. And whichever one works best for you is fine, and you're going to end up building your swing technique around that. So, you know, as I go into performing these actions, it's something that I want to pay attention to and be aware of. If I get set up, and I'm going to do the strict version first here, if I get set up and I feel like the best way for me to pivot and make this work is to feel like I'm using a little bit of that pendulum action, a little bit of that counter lean feel, and I find that that works good for me, then that's okay. So you can even experiment with it a little bit. I can get set up and try to get the sense of what that counter swivel action feels like. Again, if that one works for you, then that's okay as well. So what you want to do is just pay attention to what's happening in the body. How is the pivot action, you know, countering the way that the arms are trying to swing as the body produces that pivoting action. And when you notice that balance point that you have, the way that your pivot action maintains its balance, you know, as your arms are swinging around your body, then you're going to find that that's going to help you define your technique, what technique works best for you. Some people are better at having the counter lean, some people are better at the counter swivel, some people are better at the counter fall. So, you know, let's go ahead and as we perform these, let's pay attention to what's going on and find out which one works best for you. So again, as I get set up, I'm going to go ahead and play some of these where I'm going to hold my upper arm close to my body with my left arm. I'm going to hold that club very lightly in my right hand, again, like I'm holding an egg, so the egg will never crack. And I'm just going to let my body, my weight shift, my knees and my torso, you know, create that pivoting action. And I'm going to let my arms respond to it, and then I'm going to pay attention to how my body's countering that action. So as I perform those three, you know, my body had more of that counter lean feel to it, and I find that makes it, you know, feel like it's much more balanced for me. You know, I've trained the different actions and I've tried them to find out, you know, how they work. However, what I find out is that the counter lean action and that uses that pendulum technique tends to work best for me. I always use awing again as a real test of what fits you the best. And if I get set up and I do the awing as I do this drill, I can tell if there's any tension in the action and where that tension comes into play. And that particular one, as I came down, I felt my torso pull up, and it created some tension in the action. It also created a thin contact. So again, one of the great benefits of this drill is as you're doing it, your body has to be in the proper posture that works for you. So that time, There was a little bit of arm action in that one. I actually swung down with my arm instead of just letting my arm go along for the ride. It tensed up, and we could hear that tension at the bottom as I did that awing. So there we go. That was a good one there that time to show you kind of what happens when your arms more go along for the ride. When your body is pivoting well, it's in good balance and has posture, you're going to have a much smoother yaw as you go back and through as you make this motion. I also find for me that my arms tend to have a little bit more freedom in the swing instead of being very strictly connected like this when I'm swinging my best as well. So I tend to have a little tension when I'm awing and I do this strict connection drill. That's okay though. I think it's okay to experiment with all these different drills. You're going to learn something from them. Even if it fits, one of them fits you the best and you're trying the other ones, you're still going to learn something from those other ones. So, you know, instead of trying to be perfect, just go ahead and experiment. Learn from your experiences, and you're going to find a lot more out about how your body works and what works best for you. Okay, let's do the one now where we hold the top of the forearm and see what happens. And once again, we can see in those three swings that I have much more of that counter lean look to it. Now, again, we could do that same drill and we can add that counter swivel or that counter fall into it to find out which one works best for you. The main idea is to figure out when you're doing it the best and you're able to awe with it, which one works best for you. I'm going to go ahead and awe on a couple now so we can see what that's like. My swing sped up a little bit in the downswing there, a little bit of arm and hand action added in that time. So that would have been squeezing that egg really tight. So again, I need to let my arms and hands relax and go along for the ride. Again, add a little speed in on that one. That one was nice and relaxed. I had a really good awe there. I felt like, you know, my body pivoted back. I let my arms, you know, just naturally reach their hinge position at the top. The right arm started to drop. The body pivoted forward, and then, you know, the arms got to move along with the body on the way through. Instead of trying to get that arm swinging from the top, again, I let the arm drop. I let the body just go ahead and make the motion. Let's do one more of those to get a feel of what that's like. Again, that was a really nice one there. Real good awe, real good motion. We can see that as I got to the top, it's almost like I just let the motion pause for a second so the arm could actually just let gravity take its effect on the club. And then from there, I felt my body motion, you know, initiate the forward swing. The arms, hands, and club went along for the ride, bottomed out in the right spot. That was nice, solid contact. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the one where we hold the back of the wrist. Okay, and those 3 swings, again, I got to feel that as my body pivoted, I went back, I had enough counter lean to hold, you know, my body in balance as it's pivoting. I let my arm just naturally hinge and let it drop slightly with gravity before the forward body motion kicked into gear and delivered that swing. Okay, let's go ahead and do some awing with this. You know, one again where we hold the back of the wrist so we can see what that's like. That was a pretty good one there. That actually had a little hiccup right at the bottom. If that's the worst one I had all day, that'd be okay. Okay, I added a little bit of speed in that one. Again, a lot of times that comes from lack of trust. Our subconscious mind sometimes thinks that we need to help it, that we need to do something to get this club, you know, to get that ball in the air or to get the ball out there. The reality is the ball just gets in the way. The body creates the motion, the arms, hands, and club are reacting to that motion. If you're going to be a good swinger, we need to learn to do this, and this is a good drill to learn that. Okay, that one was really nice there. Really deep, relaxed awe. Again, the body pivoted back. I had enough counter lean to counterbalance that action. I let my arm drop as my club reached its full hinge at the top. From there, my body kicked in and it delivered that club nicely that time. So again, these are just some of the ways that you can get the feeling of how your arms and your hands work with your body in a relaxed, natural manner, allowing the natural leverage, you know, to work for you, allowing your body to do the work so that you can become more of a body player. You can really, truly be a swinger in your golf swing. All you need to do is to get started with these small swings. You know, I'm using a pitching wedge here, and with these little actions, my shots are going about 70 or 80 yards. And you're going to find that if your body's really efficient, even on that little swing, that ball's going to go a long way.